Hey Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now. A ton of Eagles news and rumors today, including mock drafts and Joe Flacco being the new backup quarterback in Philadelphia. All that and more coming up right now. All right, Eagle fans, let's go and jump into the latest Philadelphia Eagles news and rumors, starting with the big one for the past couple of days, and that is there's a new quarterback in town. No, it's not Nick Foles. No, it's not some crazy trade for Deshaun Watson. It is simply Joe Flacco. Yes, the former Super Bowl MVP, the Super Bowl winner with the Baltimore Ravens, just feels like a couple years ago, but a long time ago, has signed a one-year, $3.5 million guaranteed contract with incentives that potentially, with playtime, could go ahead and go all the way up to $7.5 million. This, to me, great news, because he's been signed to be a backup and mentor to Jalen Hurts, not to be a quarterback that can compete with Jalen Hurts in an open quarterback competition come the start of 2021 training camp. That was the fear that a lot of us had in Philadelphia, is that they would go ahead and trade for somebody like a Nick Foles and then put him in competition against Hurts, and therefore ruining Jalen Hurts' development. So, Flacco is the perfect backup. Fantastic news. Everything about this is great. It's not expensive. He's a local Philadelphia native. He cheered for the Eagles growing up, and he comes in as a non-threat, non-factor for the starting quarterback job. What is Joe Flacco's job, really? All it is really, let me just say this, all it is to come in and be a mentor, be a backup quarterback, and get Jalen Hurts to be the best possible quarterback he possibly can. And Flacco coming in here is literally no threat, and I think this is absolutely fantastic for Philadelphia to go ahead and do. It also means they're not going to be trading for another quarterback like a Deshaun Watson, in my opinion. Doesn't guarantee it, but it also doesn't mean they're not going to go ahead and look for a guy like Nick Foles, who's been talked about potentially be rumored to come back to Philadelphia. We can officially put that one back to bed, as well as the Eagles finally have a backup quarterback, and his name is Joe Flacco. What do you guys think? Like this video if you guys agree with me that Flacco is the perfect signing as a backup quarterback. Most of you guys should like this video because, as I said, there's no drama here. He's not expensive. He's going to come in and be the backup quarterback that you want your team to have whenever you have a young quarterback as your starter, as of course we've seen with Jalen Hurts. So give this video a thumbs up. It's Flacco, again, not great the past couple of seasons. He played in a couple of games, 4 games with the Jets last year, 6 touchdowns, 3 picks, didn't win a single game, but it was also the New York Jets, and so you can't really blame Flacco for stinking with the Jets because the Jets are terrible. But again, it doesn't matter how good he's going to be because he's going to be a backup quarterback, and if at any point Flacco does need to play, the Eagles are probably screwed anyway because that means Jalen Hurts either is completely garbage, hopefully not, or he's been injured, and both of those scenarios would not bode well for Philadelphia. This also means, in my opinion, this is the important one, and the Eagles finally put drafting a quarterback at number 6 to bed. I think we talked a lot about how Deshaun Watson is just not going to happen, obviously due to the recent scandals and all this stuff going on. I've been very much against trading for Deshaun Watson for months now, but I've been very much against going ahead and drafting a quarterback at number 6 as well, and that's what a lot of people are mocking that and saying that's what Philadelphia is going to do. But this, to me, the Flacco move means you can put the quarterback being drafted at number 6 to bed, because why would they take Joe Flacco and have Jalen Hurts, and then go ahead and draft a quarterback? You're going to put 3 quarterbacks on that roster, all of which could compete for a starting job. Then you'd have Hurts versus a rookie quarterback, with Flacco potentially being the 3rd string quarterback. It doesn't make sense anymore, and that's the good news, and the good thing is it doesn't make sense. So Philadelphia, I say, put it to bed. Officially, the Eagles will not go ahead and draft a quarterback at number 6, meaning they can focus in on what is important, and that means wide receiver. That means maybe tight end. Again, I'm a little iffy on that, but still not a quarterback. That's exciting. Cornerback or linebacker, all which are needs right now in Philadelphia. So again, I find nothing wrong with Flacco. I think this is absolutely fantastic. Bring him in. Make him the number 2 quarterback. Probably bring in somebody else, maybe a late round draft pick to be the practice squad guy, or sign somebody to be the practice squad guy. I don't know who that will be. But right now, it is obviously going to go ahead and be Hurts as quarterback number 1, and Joe Flacco clearly not even in competition as quarterback number 2, the backup, and that is great news in Philadelphia. What do you guys think? Grade the Flacco signing right now, A, B, C, D, or F. If you type F, I'm going to be very, very confused and concerned as to why you think this is a bad signing, because it's not. It's a great signing overall. I am giving this an A+, because we can finally put to bed any sort of potential rumor about, oh, well, Hurts is not going to be the guy. No, Hurts is the guy. This makes it all the more clear, and that's good news for a lot of people in Philadelphia. Give me your grade on the Flacco signing down below. All right, before we go ahead and keep going, there are some crazy good deals happening right now on Philadelphia Eagle t-shirts. And not just like one t-shirt, a bunch of different t-shirts in different sizes and styles, as well as for both men's and women's. So you see them flashing across your screen right now. There are, literally a ton of different ones that are up to, like we said, 65% off. You can get one paired with a hat. You can get some women's gear as well. or you can go ahead and pick up a Vineyard Vines Eagles shirt. First time I've ever seen one of these, but that looks pretty sweet. You get that one in a bunch of different sizes, as well as the Eagles Super Bowl official t-shirt that, of course, they were, handing out or selling whenever the Eagles won Super Bowl 52. I, for one, own one of those t-shirts and still wear it very, very often because, of course, they've only won one Super Bowl, so why not rep that one Super Bowl win? Because once you win a Super Bowl, you're a Super Bowl champ forever. So, again, tons of different Eagles shirts. All of them, at least most of them, are on sale, up to 65% off. The link is chatsports.com/Eagles shirt. It'll also be down below in the description box right now, so just click that. It'll take you to the website, and you can pick up your Eagles shirt for summer, as we're getting to the point here, at least, in the South, but I'm sure coming up in the North as well. It's going to be t-shirt season, and you're going to want to rep the Philadelphia Eagles, so do it again. chatsports.com/Eagles shirt. Go and pick one up, as most of them are up to 65% off. Let's go and jump into Mel Kiper's latest mock draft. He, of course, from ESPN, released his third mock draft that became official just yesterday, and it gets very interesting in terms of what Philadelphia possibly can do at number 6, as well as what other teams are doing both in front of number 6 and behind number 6. So let's start with the top 3 picks. This is interesting. He has the Jaguars taking Trevor Lawrence, the Jets taking Zach Wilson, the Panthers trading up with Miami and taking Justin Fields. So what's the trend? Quarterbacks early, as Kiper continues to say. He expects all 5 quarterbacks, at least the top 5 quarterbacks, to go inside the top 10. That's the trend we see happening right here. Next 4 picks, right in front of Philadelphia. Falcons, they also take a quarterback, that of course being Trey Lance from North Dakota State. The Bengals take Kyle Pitts, which I guess is interesting, even though they signed a left tackle. A lot of people think this would be Penei Sewell, but it's not. According to Kiper, it's Kyle Pitts, probably the best weapon that you could possibly get that's not a wide receiver for young Joe Burrow. So I guess it makes sense, but I think still a lot of people think that's going to go ahead and be an offensive lineman. And then he has Philly at 6. So who does he have Philadelphia taking at 6? Before I reveal to you who Mel Kiper has him taking, take a look at some of the top players on the board at number 6 at the time of this mock. He has Jamar Chase, he has Devontae Smith, he has Jalen Waddle, meaning the top 3 wide receivers are all there for the taking in Philadelphia, according to this mock draft. Penei Sewell, who kind of falls in this mock, which is very interesting to me. And then, of course, Patrick Surtain, who is one of the best cornerbacks, my favorite cornerback in this draft. Without further ado, though, his pick for the Eagles at 6 is the right one. It's Jamar Chase, the wide receiver out of LSU. Absolutely fantastic choice here, and it makes a ton of sense as he has, of course, the best wide receiver in the draft being Chase, and going to Philadelphia, the team that needs him the most, there at number 6. Now, he opted out of last season. Some people think that means he could fall in the draft behind Devontae Smith, but I think most people understand just how good he was in 2019 at the age of 19, and that should go ahead and just, keep him in one of the top 2 wide receivers, if not the number 1 wide receiver taken in this draft. Like the video if you guys agree that Jamar Chase is the right pick. Like, to me, again, maybe you think it's Devontae Smith, maybe you don't, but a wide receiver really is the right pick here, and I'm all in on Jamar Chase. I would give this video a thumbs up because I am all on board for Philadelphia finally getting an elite wide receiver. And everything I heard, I've heard him compared to the next Larry Fitzgerald. Dan Orlovsky, ESPN, he says he's the next Larry Fitzgerald. If that's the case, this has got to be the pick. Now, this obviously has to be the pick because of the current wide receiver depth chart. Now, you see Fulgham, Rager, and Ward, 3 of which I think are going to be very good role-playing wide receivers, maybe good second fiddles in an offense that has, a guy like Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders, but they really need that number 1 superstar wide receiver to take a little pressure off of second-year man Jalen Rager, take a little pressure off of Greg Ward and what maybe can be a good receiver in Travis Fulgham. We don't really know yet, so it makes a ton of sense to take him, as this, to me, is an absolutely massive need. Quickly, some people continue to still say that Kyle Pitts will be the Eagles' pick if he's available at number 6 overall. And obviously, he was not available in this draft because the Bengals took him at number 5, according to Mel Kiper. But I still want to go ahead and just say Kyle Pitts is not the right choice for Philadelphia at number 6. I will say this until I am proven wrong, and I will only be proven wrong if Kyle Pitts turns out to be a Hall of Fame type tight end. I would take Chase over Pitts 100%. The only way that you would want to take Kyle Pitts this early in a draft is if your team does not have other massive needs at other spots. Like, tight end is very much an icing on the cake, a cherry on top of the sundae, on top of the ice cream cone for your team. If you have needs at cornerback or wide receiver, or defensive end, or linebacker, all of which are big needs for Philadelphia, why would you take a tight end when you already have a guy, obviously, who we think is a very good tight end in Dallas Goedert? It just doesn't make sense to take Kyle Pitts. And so I like the fact that, 1, he's not even available for the Eagles to think about Kyle Pitts in this mock draft, and 2, even if he was, Kiper still likes wide receiver here, and so Ja'Marr Chase, again, just it makes the most sense. The guy's, okay, Ja'Marr Chase is a baller, and he's guaranteed to be a baller, in my opinion, and so just take him, put him at wide receiver, and then we can just stop complaining about how the Eagles never get a good wide receiver and have not had one really since Terrell Owens all the way back in 2004. This is a great pick. It makes a ton of sense, and I love the fact that, one, the quarterbacks are off the board. You don't have to think about quarterback because like Lance is gone and Fields is gone and Wilson is gone. 2, Kyle Pitts is off the board. Don't think about Kyle Pitts. And 3, all wide receivers are there for the taking. You can get the best one. And then in my opinion, that is either Devontae Smith or Ja'Marr Chase, but I will lean more towards Ja'Marr Chase. Okay, back to my Kyle Pitts argument. Do you agree? Who would you rather have in this draft? Type KP down below for Kyle Pitts or type JC down below for Ja'Marr Chase. I, for one, will be typing JC because I am all on board for Ja'Marr Chase. All right, let's move on to some more news here, and this comes via ESPN in a very interesting article talking about the Eagles and their ability to trade back in this draft. So obviously during the previous news section there, we mentioned that, of course, Kiper has the Eagles staying at number 6, but ESPN also talked about how the Eagles are in a prime spot to go ahead and trade down because so many teams want to go ahead and come up for a quarterback. So let's actually explore that right now and show you some options if Philadelphia was going to go ahead and trade back, because we know if they were to trade back, they would get additional assets, which means more draft picks and more chances to go ahead and hit on a player, which they've not been able to do really over the past couple of drafts. Before I show you what ESPN said about the Eagles trading back and being in the prime spot, make sure you guys are subscribed for non-stop Eagle coverage this offseason for free. Like, you don't have to go ahead and just sit there watching ESPN hoping they'll talk about the Eagles. We talk about the Eagles exclusively here because the channel name is Philadelphia Eagles Now. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Go down below and hit the big red subscribe button as we approach 20,000 subs here on the channel. As, in my opinion, we are the best free coverage you can find online for Philadelphia. Okay, here's Tim McManus, ESPN Eagles reporter, on the Eagles trading back. Quote, for Philly, they need to convince people that Detroit, number 7 overall, is thinking about moving on from Jared Goff. And they don't have to convince people that the Carolina Panthers, number 8 overall, want to move up to get a quarterback. So if you're a team like Denver, number 9, San Francisco, number 12, New England, number 15, who wants to get ahead of Carolina at 8, I think Philadelphia is maybe your logical destination because you might not want to go all the way to 3 where Miami is. And McManus is 100% right on this. And I'll go a step further and say there are other teams that still could go ahead and want to trade behind people like the Patriots and 49ers, same with the Washington football team and some others that might want a quarterback. But the 5 you see on your screen are the ones that most likely will trade up for a quarterback. And like they said, if, for instance, Trey Lance is there, if, for instance, Justin Fields fall, like the Falcons don't want to go, like Falcons take Kyle Pitts at 4, and the Dolphins stay put and take Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith, then you will see a team want to come up to Philadelphia at 6 in order to get ahead of Detroit and Carolina, as those are the 2 most likely candidates to take a quarterback early in this first round. And the 2 teams that to me make the most sense are the Niners and the Patriots, because they've been reportedly rumored to want a quarterback and upgrade Garoppolo and upgrade from Cam Newton, so keep an eye on either of those in terms of trading up. Now, trading up inevitably means Philadelphia comes back a couple of spots, meaning they're not going to get their number 1 choice, because odds are someone's going to take one of their top choices. But let's say you go back to 8, 9, or 10, I would still expect you to have a shot at either Jalen Waddle, the wide receiver from Alabama, Patrick Surtain, the cornerback from Bama, who's my personal favorite trade back option, Caleb Farley, the cornerback from Virginia Tech, and Micah Parsons, the linebacker from Penn State, who has not gotten a lot of love recently, but still is a very great player. Now, you asked, Thomas, what could a trade back look like in terms of actual draft picks in terms of compensation? Like, you're obviously going to get the other team's first-round draft pick, but what else would you get? Let's go back to 2018 when the Bills traded up for Josh Allen with the Bucks, and it looked like this. So the Bills got number 6 overall. They went ahead and took Josh Allen. That worked out pretty well for them. The Bucks got 12 overall. They took Vita Vea, the defensive tackle out of Washington, who was injured this past year, but all accounts is still a very good player. They got 2 second-round draft picks. They got the Bills number 52 overall and the Bills number 56 overall in that same draft. That would be a big return to only go back a couple of spots. Now, you could presumably maybe get an additional first-round draft pick if a team is coming up far enough, like the Patriots from 15 to 6, but still, that is a good indication, at least the 2018 Bills trade, about what Philadelphia could go ahead and get. With that all being said, my one thing because I don't hate trading back, but my one little caution here is don't trade back too far. I think 15 with New England could be a little bit too far because you don't want to miss out on the Waddle, Surtain, Farleys, or Parsons of the world. If you trade back and still get one of those 4 and get enough draft compensation in return, I'm fine with it. But don't go back to like 18 or 19. I personally wouldn't go past number 12 with the 49ers because, again, I want to get one of these star players. So I don't hate the idea of trading back. I wanted to present the idea of trading back here for you guys today. But I want to also caution Philadelphia and say don't go back too far or else you're going to miss out on one of the star players and then you're kind of rolling the dice hoping a next level guy turns out to be as good as a Parsons, a Farley, a Surtain, or a Jalen Waddle. All right, we'll end on this. Drop a like if you guys want to, if you would consider trading back. Like, have I convinced you that trading back might be a solid idea? I'm fine with staying at 6, but I'm just saying that you could trade back. If you guys think it's a possibility, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I want to see a lot of likes on this video because I know most of you guys agree with what I'm saying. That's why you're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now. All right, ultimately out for today here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. I am your host, Thomas Mott. Plenty to get to in the coming days and weeks, so stay tuned for that. But we sign off for now for the rest of your day.